Now,
Investigating a Roman
Roman
encampment.
soldiers.
Part 2.
I don't know if you can see them. They're just about starting to come into view now. They're very, they're like an opaque colour. I can't really make out colours. I can just make out figures. I can see the faces, and they're actually stood in the middle there, just there. And what they're doing is they're stood in military terms is called a brick, and what it is, it's like a rectangle formation. They're not attacking. It looks like they're undergoing some form of inspection. It looks like they are ready to move on to wherever they need to be, or they're in marching order because they've got all the kit on. And I mean, I can see them, but although they're not 100% clear as such, but you should just be able to make out. I don't know if I can zoom in on this thing. I'm not brilliant with technology. Mediumship's my thing, but unfortunately technology isn't. There, just there. Just there they are. And there's about 30 of them. And they stood there. There's somebody at that edge as well. That edge, just there. There's somebody stood at that edge. And they're Romans. And my guide is telling me that we're going back towards 2,000 years maybe. That sort of period. Maybe further forward, maybe longer, maybe shorter. But we are getting up there. Just looking around there, there's no dog walkers or anything. I'm completely on my own. Not that's a problem, but they all stood. They are chatting amongst themselves in a way. They're not bimbling around, but what they're doing is they're just turning their heads and talking to each other. But they're there, just there. There's just there when I know it's focused on my finger with my glove on, but they are just there. You can just see it. It goes like it just looks like mist, really. These are not residual. These are intelligent. They know I'm here. They haven't paid me any attention yet, which is good because I don't want to cause any distress. And yes, the spirits do get distressed, but they are earthbound. But they are there, and I can see them. And I know the camera's picking this up. So if I zoom back out again, you might just be able to. Sorry, I've got it in my hand. I've got the camera in my hand. I haven't got. There you go. You can see more now. They're in a formation there, look, and it's a rectangle formation. There's about 30 of them, and they're about 4 deep. So there's quite a few soldiers there. They look to be dressed in a browny colour. They've got trousers on. Whether or not that was standard issue in winter, I don't know. I'm not a historian, unfortunately. But what they are is they've got they look like they've got a big cloaks on and things. They're not dressed, or they don't appear to be dressed as typical Romans, because they're covered. They've got their armour covered and everything. But they've got like really thick woolly. Yeah, hi Claire. Sorry, I'm not going to disclose where I am for my own safety. Plus, I'm at an edge of a private field, and I'm not going to go into the I'm not going to go into the field. so I don't want anybody saying, "Oh, you're trespassing" and things like this. So I'm not going to say where I am. But thanks for joining us anyway. Yeah, they're there, and right. What's happening now is there's two. I don't know if the general's type or they look to be in charge. He's got a helmet with a plume, looks like a brush really, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but it's going across his head. It's not from the back of the head to the nose, it's going from ear to ear, and it's it looks like a brush, but it's dark. It's a dark plume type thing, and it's stuck straight up, and he's walking on. Again, he looks to be dressed in a brown garment, clothes, cloak and trousers, and he's just walked on there, just there. He's walked on. He's stood in front. He's with somebody else, and he stood it. I just can't hear what he's saying. Mind you, it's in Latin. And I did study Latin at school, but I've lost a lot of my Latin language now. But they're all stood still, and they're all. He's now walking round them and checking. You've got to be able to see this because it's just there. I know it's gone blurred because of my finger, but it's just there. Just there where he is. You can I can see him through the camera, so you hopefully should be able to do. But he's just there. I'm getting quite excited actually because he's inspecting them, or they look to be getting ready to move off. So okay, there's no horses or anything. Hi Paula, welcome. I walked past it a couple of times, and I felt I couldn't see anything at first about this location, but you know, it's quite a walk for me. It really is. I have to drive here, and then I have to get out the vehicle and walk quite a distance. But I know it sounds a bit silly. I used to borrow a dog to walk, and I walked past it a couple of times, and I felt Romans really, or I felt spirits. And when I actually tuned into it, I found that there were Romans, although there is Vikings further on down there. I passed them this morning, and there's like a Viking lodge. It's not there now, but in spirit it is. And right, okay, they're getting ready to move on. Sorry, I'm waffling. Good morning, Psychic Medium, another fellow Psychic Medium, Donna, welcome. Right, they're starting to move off. It's getting lighter now. You can see them there, look, that's where they are, and they're from there all the way down to there, and they've got a chap. It looks like he's got a big trumpet. It looks like a big curly trumpet, and he has it looks like an animal skin, like a wolf or something like that, over his head. It might be a bear actually, because it's dark, on his head, and they're getting ready to move off. I'm going to go back to the path and follow them as far as I can. Just excuse me a second. Just going to go back to the path, but they're starting to right, here we are again. I'm back on the path now. They're just there. starting to move